Now, I know it's the time of year that we all want a career change, and the first thing we will do is dive to our resumes to update them, to reformat them. We write our cover letters, all of that sort of stuff. I'd like to take a step back to what we do before that. And often this step is really taken for granted. And the longer you're in your career and the more time goes by, the more this step is actually forgotten. I want you to go back, and before you start formatting, I want you to look at your own work and education history. And I want you to look deeply into it, and I want you to record it. So there's a template available to do this on our website. But if you don't want to do that, you can just do it based on this conversation. You want to have a look at your employment history first, and you need to really dig deep into everything that you did there. So you need to look at the month and year that you were employed. You need to look at the organizational chart, who you reported to, who may have reported to you. Yes, you want to look at those key responsibilities that we all put into our resumes, but I also want you to have a look at what software, what equipment, and what technology you may have used while you were there. Now, when you are writing all of this down, I want you to do it without a job in mind. I want you to do it more as a history lesson. So I want you to record what happened in that job role so that you can later come back and pick and choose parts of what you've written and use it in your documents. So don't worry if you're never going to use that org chart in a resume. The whole idea is to get you in the mindset of what you were doing when you were there and what that workplace looked like. So any achievements that you might have gained while you were there at that employment, any education, qualifications, workshops, professional development, that sort of stuff that you might have done at each job. Any milestones that you achieved while you were there, if you were awarded anything, if they're Employee of the Month, safety awards, any of those sorts of things, record that too. So what you really want is a detailed look at each job that you've ever had. So this is a document that only you will see. So don't worry about it. It's really about making sure that you won't forget, because as I said before, as time goes by, we're less likely to remember all the details of each job. So it's important to do it at the end of every job that you have, and every time that you want to review your resume, just make sure that you've got all these details right. Now, when it comes to your education, you want to write down what qualification you attained. For the vet sector, it's important to know what qualification code you may have had. So it's usually 3 letters and 5 numbers. I had to think about that for a minute there. And that will tell you what version of qualification you achieved. University is a little bit different because every university has their own version of different qualifications. You want to write down what subjects you completed and maybe what your overall grade point average was, what kind of marks you achieved. If you did any extracurricular activities, if you were part of, different school councils, that sort of stuff, include that too. It is really important to think about all of these things, and I'm going to go into why. So often we don't refer to these little bits and pieces that happen, and we forget about them. And then later a job will come up that is looking for someone who has volunteered in a team. And that's when you can go back and you can look through your history and see, oh, that's right, that's where I did that. So that when you are looking at other job ads into the future or selection criteria, when they talk about communication skills or software used or projects that you might have been a part of, you can just go through your history, read through it, and just pluck out what you need. It's going to save you a lot of time into the future when writing your resume. So just to recap, before you start writing your resume and your cover letter, I want you to go back through your entire work history, all of it, and leave no stone unturned. And I want you to review exactly what you did at those jobs, what achievements you've made, key milestones, all of those things, and write them down. Write them down in chronological order. Write down what technology, software you used, any skills that you might have gained there. And then I want you to do the same for your education. Then when you are looking for jobs, whether it's into the new year or sometime into the future, All you need to do then is highlight those areas in your resume and use them. It's going to save you a whole heap of time, I guarantee it. Well, that's it for me today, Career Crusaders. Good luck in your job searching endeavors, and we'll see you soon.